I stayed there for a couple of years, and on November 9th was a Kristallnacht, 1938, where everything was smashed, all the windows were smashed from the Jewish businesses, and nobody was allowed to go in the streets. And I came home from school, and that was the last day of the school. They closed up after that. So that was, I was 11 years old then. There was only one school left in Berlin, and that was an American school. So my parents put me in the American school for 1 year, where I learned everything was in English there, no German. And after the summer vacation, I went back, but the principal didn't come back anymore to Germany because it was already before the outbreak of the war. And I was 12 years old then, and I wasn't allowed to go to school at all anymore. We had to start wearing a Jewish star. See, this, I have it here. It had to be sewn on all our clothes. And when the first day we wore the Jewish star, I went with my girlfriend, we were very young, on the main street in Berlin, and the German people came to us, and we were blonde and blue-eyed, and they came, "Oh, take that off, girls. You're not Jewish. You don't need that. Take that off." So, but if you was seen without the star, then you was punished and was sent away right away to concentration camps. Also, I remember at night when I went to bed, the bombs were flying. The alarms went off during the night, and I was scared, and I quickly put my clothes on, and we had to go in the cellar for hours till the bomb scare was over. Then we could go upstairs again. And after a couple of weeks, I didn't even get undressed at night. I went to bed with my clothes on because we knew we had to run down in the cellars. The bombs were coming. Then I went to see my grandparents always. They didn't live far from us. Every Friday night I went for dinner to my grandparents' house, and my grandfather couldn't have his practice anymore someplace else, but he was allowed to have it in his apartment where he lived. So the patients came there, and I played nurse. I opened the door for them and put them in the waiting room, and I enjoyed doing that. Then my father's mother, she lived in the building that we owned, where our business was, with her daughter together. My grandfather died earlier when I was little. And my aunt became sick, and she died pretty young. And my father's sister lived in Italy. She left Germany in 1920s before Hitler came. They lived in Milan and later on in Mexico. My mother had no sisters or brothers. She was the only child, and I am too. I never had brothers or sisters. Then when the transport started, first they had they took the business away from my father, and a Nazi, Dr. Fritz Roth, took the business over in 1941. And my father didn't leave Germany because he wanted to help everybody else to get away to the United States or wherever, or the Jewish people. That's why he got stuck there. Then it was too late to go. So in 1941, my father had to do he had to work in a bakelite factory.